It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us here to be dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, November 19th, 1863.
Election Night 2020 Pre-Mortem, featuring the Mindwave Podcast, Fred's Front Porch, Resurgent Us, and that other Laura Engram. Not the one from Fox. Ours. We have our own. She's way cooler. Welcome to the show, kids. And
great opening. Oh, I love that.
We landed in the same boxes.
We landed in the right spot.
Place. That was totally accidental. I did not have my shit together that well. I would have liked to get Jesse's words on the screen, because that's just oh God.
That was
God.
Chills.
Yeah.
Like I said before, chills.
Yeah, that really was. And that performance is on my podcast this evening, Election Night. I wound up my section of that with Jesse's reading. Wow. And hey, Jenner, great fucking job getting the audio right and then putting the music under it, and Horace, fantastic. But these two guys over here, wow, just fucking wow. I'm in awe. I really am. So thank you, Jeff.
I needed that. I needed that before tonight. I needed that to kick off tonight because it's kind of stressful.
Yeah, it's a stressful night.
You know, the amazing thing is I never would have thought to use that passage, and I wouldn't have said anything like that on my own had nobody asked me. And so that's the power of just saying, hey, you know, this thing could help us. You know, would you mind to do that? And just that. You know, just being asked, like I said in our private chat, that was such an honor to get to be the one to read that passage. You know, I think sometimes we forget just how much has been laid down for us to be able to have the kind of lives that we all take for granted. And you know, they would have wanted us to take for granted. They didn't want it to be so hard for us that we have to think about it as much as the people who went through it. But it's been a long road for humanity to get here. So, and for the United States to get here. So, you know, let's hope this isn't the season finale.
Yeah. We're hoping for, if you're looking for
series finale, I should say series finale.
Yeah, right. Yeah. If you're looking for hard-hitting election analysis, may I suggest, I don't know, #coffee, or maybe Rio is doing something. That won't be us. This is sort of take a break. And Jesse will help once in a while. And every now and again, Jesse, when something happens, let us know, you know, hey, Biden did this, Trump did that. The world is ending. The world is being saved. Whatever you happen to find out.
The nukes have been launched.
There you go. Yeah, if that happens, please mention that.
I'll tell you what, if they land anywhere, it'll be Florida first. So, you know, Florida's going to get it. But
no. I don't think so. He hates Portland.
Oh yeah, no, that's true.
He'd be here first. He'd be here first.
Yeah, he really does hate Portland, doesn't he?
Yeah,
well, everything's over there now.
Like we're constantly getting ragged on by
everybody
and all his supporters.
Wasn't it Portland
Huh?
that set up the cool area there where everybody hung out and grew shit and all of that? I forgot what it was called, but wasn't that Portland?
The
Right, like a
DMZ.
couple-
I'm not-
the
DMZ.
I don't fucking what
Something
was
like
it?
that.
I'm
Occupied
not sure. I'm
area.
not sure what you're referring to.
Oh,
I haven't been
God.
here long enough to really
Oh man, what was that?
know.
What was that called? HVAC or something? I forgot. What it was.
No,
I
yeah,
don't know.
there was an autonomous zone. It was It was called Chaz for a while.
Chaz.
There it is.
Um,
That's it. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Dang.
Yeah, I know what you guys are
Yeah.
talking about.
It was really big in conservative media. Like they were convinced that was like a declaration of war against the United States or something. You know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was an Antifa hangout.
Right.
Basically,
Yeah.
everybody was
And
sitting around
meanwhile,
getting stoned. But,
You remember?
What's the thing with that?
years
Like
back-
Portland's been doing weird stuff for like forever. So I never understood how like Portland, Seattle, they've been doing stuff like that for like forever. So what's the big
Oh,
deal?
totally. But like, meanwhile, remember when the ranchers took over that, like, what was it, like
Right.
a national park or something, and they're like, "This is ours now," and the like fully armed militia and shit.
Yeah.
And then
everybody
what did
said,
that-
"Yeah,
it was just
okay."
like, okay, slap on the wrist. No, don't do that.
Yeah. It's crazy how each side, when the shoe is on the other foot, it's like they have no memory of when they just did that thing.
Right.
yeah.
That's like with the Merrick Garland thing and all that. It's like it's like everyone's lines. They're just reading the previous side's lines. And so, if you were in favor of getting a nominee in as quickly as possible, then now you weren't. And if you thought, one shouldn't be in, I don't know. It's just
right.
a very weird thing.
Yeah. If
It's
I
like
were
people
writing,
forget the past so quickly.
Yeah.
if
Well,
I
as
were
long as it's
writing,
inconvenient.
if I were writing it, Jenna would be jumping my
Yeah.
shit about continuity error. That
Right.
it's like, no, you
I
can't say
found-
that because don't you remember on page 6 you said this? And
Yes, I found so many of those.
I know.
Only Through Fire, and no, it was beautiful because it changed the moments.
yeah.
Like when Eliza's, well, shit, I can't take that. But I called it a dwindling woodpile instead
Yes.
of a woodpile because we had established already that like they didn't have a bunch. So that was just a really small little detail and a beautiful thing to
Yes.
notice. Oh wait, didn't he say this and that should this tracks better with his character? And then
But I mean, keep
The-
in mind, we wrote
getting-
that thing in like 4 days or some shit. Are you kidding me? I mean,
and people
we only
largely
made-
wrote their own characters too. Like,
Yes.
there was a lot of that happening. People, like,
Yeah.
them coming in, that person for that role created that character.
yes.
The actual individual people coming into it were crucial to character development themselves. They brought aspects and elements to these characters that I couldn't have imagined, wouldn't have written. If you listen to my original script read, it reads very different. It's the same story, but it reads very different than the actual people coming in and bringing life to those roles with their own voices. I'm gonna shut up, but yeah, I've just been on cloud 9 with fucking Only Through Fire for like
Oh, you should be. That was awesome.
since we started.
The bringing everybody together and
Jesse, have
everybody's
you heard all
performances
of it
on
yet?
are really good.
I haven't had a chance to listen, so don't.
'Cause,
do
yeah,
any
you're-
spoilers.
no, we
Don't say
won't.
spoilers yet.
But I mean, you're on my Patreon and the whole thing is there. So
Yeah.
go, listen at some point. Particularly because, you're Alexander, the librarian who is also the good half of religion.
Tinkering,
We were
tinkering
mentioning
librarian.
tinkering, yes.
He's a
And you're
tinkering
trying
librarian.
to
He's trying to discover electricity like 200 years before what's his fucking name with this with the magnets and the wires. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Tesla?
No, Maxwell.
Tesla,
the Maxwell. Was it Maxwell before? The principles of
Oh, hey, I was going to go Ben Franklin and the
Oh,
goddamn kite. I mean, so
Well, we're Americans, so yeah, I think we're all looking to Ben Franklin for that one. I'd say.
there you
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
God, this is gonna drive me crazy. Okay, talk amongst yourselves. I need to find.
We need a Jamie again, please. Could we have a Jamie?
It's me. Apparently, did you
well.
guys notice that my alt name
A
happens to
Jamie?
be James?
Oh, there you go. Yeah. So anyway, but yeah, he's going to be
I bet-
doing that. Wait, there was something else I was going. Oh! Fun little fact that you probably don't know. In pregame, we were talking about Prior Nip, And is there such a thing as a prior? And Jenner went into some detail about explaining the actual historical function of the prior who was in charge of friars and things like that. But his name, I never really intended to stick. It was sort of a placeholder for me because we didn't want it to be a friar. So we went to a prior. But who is the only friar that anybody knows in the whole goddamn universe, right? It would be Friar Tuck. Okay. Now, Tuck reminded me of my best friend Stephanie's favorite show that I saw almost 2 episodes of once, which was called Nip Tuck. Therefore, we went from Friar Tuck to Prior Nip. And so there we go. That's how that got there. So trivia.
I heard about that.
Delightful.
I thought that was an interesting decision.
Yeah.
I smoke way too much marijuana.
No,
not.
I
I haven't
no such
decided.
thing. No such.
We're
When
not
magic
enough.
like that comes out.
But God, he was a wonderful character. And,
Oh my, that was so hard. It was
Yeah.
extremely fun, and I find it difficult to listen to. Especially the sound design that went over the prior's voice in some of those like really creepy moments. I find it difficult to listen to, and it's my fucking voice. I'm like, oh God, he just sounds so fucking evil. Oh, Miss
Well,
Eliza. Oh, I knew it looks brutal.
right.
I always thought he had sort of a Gollum.
That part where he's like, "There is no other way."
Oh, yeah,
It's just
yeah.
ultra creepy.
Oh, it is so fucking creepy. I think the creepiest moment in the entire piece is Eliza's curse.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously.
Oh, Jenner said you did that all by yourself. I thought he screwed with your voice to get that. I thought he did audio tricks to get that.
no.
God.
That was
No.
literally just a little reverb.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Little known talent.
you got a range of like 322 octaves or something in that, man. That
It
just,
is.
whoa, that was so fucking
Chilling.
intense. That was
Jesse
awesome.
hasn't heard it yet, you guys.
I,
Okay,
I thought
Jesse,
it would
you
work.
gotta
I
go
thought it
through.
would work. I'm glad it
It
did.
did.
Oh,
God,
my God, it
yeah.
works so good.
Yes.
Be aware, this is an extremely fucking heavy piece of audio. It is going
Yeah.
to it is deliberately psychologically manipulating emotionally manipulating
Yes.
the listener in a way that other things people aren't used to being manipulated this strongly. It is a very invasive story, but it's fucking beautiful. I think it's the best one I've ever heard.
It's
Ever.
It was the most traumatic thing I've ever written. I've been writing for, I don't know, like 45 years now. And I've written a lot of heavy duty. Well, I haven't written a lot of heavy duty shit, but I've written a lot of shit. I mean, I have my bookcase back there is filled with shit that I have written over the last 40 some odd years. But nothing. And there are certain scenes, and I'm sure any writer will tell you this. Jenner is now a writer, which he hadn't really been before, but he blossomed into this fully grown writer. But in order to write a scene, you have to be there in the room. You have to see it, feel it, touch it, hear it, smell it. You have to experience it completely. And I did not want, right. But,
is so
and I did
invasive,
not
guys.
want to go into those rooms. I, no problem writing the beginning and, the raven flying over the house and great. I can do all that. But then you'll know where it is, Jesse, when you get there. It's like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to write this. I don't want to feel this. I don't want to experience this. And I knew what I had to write. It wasn't, a lot of times writer's block is about, well, Jesus, I'm not sure where to go with this. I knew where to go. I knew how to write it. I just didn't want to go there. And it's that. And with the nice thing about the Thanksgiving episode, perfectly happy to go there. We got Nana who wants to build the bigger table. Like, good, let's go.
Oh my God, this story is going to be so fucking beautiful.
Has
Before
anybody told Laura about her? You're still alive, right?
We're gonna get there in like 2 minutes. But since we talked about Only Through Fire, I still do have the assets queued up here. So let's play the trailer and the first cast video, which actually does not have Laura's casting call, curtain call, because she was a diva. She was like star of the show. Okay, I'm gonna show up
I was
at
busy.
the 11th hour and I'm gonna fucking kill it. And I was like, oh, beautiful, thank you. You're a goddess. But we'll play the trailer because it's that by itself is kind of spooky.
See, now don't you want to go listen to that? So
That needs to be boosted. That's your commercial right there.
yes, I know. I don't know how to boost it.
Yeah.
This one is really, and I need to redo one that has Raven and Calum in it. I actually need to redo this video and add Laura's curtain call to this. But the rest, this was early production. We didn't have everybody.
You had so
yet,
little
but
time to get it out, to get
oh,
everything out. But yeah,
I know.
it was
The
just like one thing
existing version of
after another.
The existing version of the project actually has quite a few more layers than made it into part 1, because by the time I was that far into part 2, we all of a sudden had all these new things happening in part 1. So when the producer's cut is done, I wanted to have this done by tomorrow. I don't think it's going to happen. I might just go up all night and be insane and finish the producer's cut.
Oh my god, I didn't realize you were doing another version of it.
Oh, yes. So we have the collector's edition, which is both parts, kind of just placed.
Yeah.
With the curtain call, or I mean, with the intermission and the curtain call, right? Yeah.
Full curtains, full cast of call, gratitudes, credits, everything. Full, all of that just placed. I just took the 2 files that we put, part 1 that went out on everywhere. Part 2 only went out on Patreon. And I just placed them kind of gently next together, like a great set of tits, and went, "Here you go. Listen to this as one experience." That's the collector's edition. I'm doing the producer's cut, which is like I'm gonna go back over this platinum level, like over every scene, and make sure everything pulls together. It's gonna be seamless from beginning to end, so we're not gonna get an intermission. We're still gonna have the theater, I think, in the beginning, the auditorium leading in. And then the cast at the end, obviously. But that I wanted to have that done by tomorrow.
Yeah.
So, play the damn video, Jenner.
Rose, played by Dream Elkins.
Albert, played by Phil.
Abigail, played by Alyssa Monet Mason.
Hello, my name is Jared. I play Herbert.
Eustace Kanji, played by Mike Kelly.
You get it. Oh my god.
Yeah. But of course, that's wildly incomplete, So
Yes.
the actual curtain call was like what, 4 minutes long? I think it was.
Oh god, I don't know. Off
Just the
top of my
curtain
head.
call before the gratitudes and shit. I think just the curtain call is like 4 minutes. I may have that wrong.
Because in there we don't have Eliza or the boy or Peter or
No.
Prior Nip.
And we don't have the kids. The actual curtain call opens with the
Raven and
kid.
Calum.
Yeah, the actual
Right,
curtain call
yeah,
opens
I've heard that
with-
one.
Yeah.
It's like, is my name right there?
Yeah.
We did
Yeah,
sound
it's,
design. All excited 3 and 4 year olds. Alexa, we did
I'm-
sound design, and I'm like, yes, you did.
Yeah, they were adorable.
We got to shift. Jesse, experience that, but like that is it's like real theater.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to
Go to a
listen to
dark
it.
place with headphones.
Only with headphones or in a car, but
Yeah.
and not driving. But
No, this is every minute of this is so intense because we had to pack a huge story into like Fred's like, we want a 20-minute episode for this week, so we just crunched this fucking massive story into this whole thing. So you really have to be paying attention, to remember. Oh, what is that? Oh, did I just hear that? Am I remembering this right from before? And this is one of these things that you're gonna want to listen to a million times, which is
I think
I know I
heard it.
have.
Yeah, I think I've heard it 3 or 4 times. In the what do we call it? The collector's edition, where it's all
the
there
breasts,
and
supple breasts.
right. Okay, yeah, but with the curtain call or the intermission in the middle and all that.
Yes.
Well, you don't have a producer's edition out yet, right? Where you cut the curtain call and the curtain call. I keep saying that. Where you cut the intermission, or
there is on the desktop you'll see a gray edition.
Okay.
Only the fire. That is right now. It is the producer's cut incomplete.
Okay.
So it literally starts with imagine. It starts right there. There's no
okay. So none of the opening shit about.
Yes,
Okay.
It's just imagine, and then the music to the end. But then it's missing a few things here and there.
So-
Book noises need to go certain places.
Yeah. But I mean, so this is like no community theater. Just here's the story. Here's the thing. Yeah.
The producer's cut is just pure audio right now. But
Yeah.
But when that is done, I am gonna put the theater bookends on.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah. Leave out the intermission because that.
Oh yeah,
You don't need that
it's
interruption.
Seamless
Yeah.
beginning to end, but actually, what I want to do is use the same audience noises, the same auditorium,
Yeah.
the same curtain noises because we. Okay, girl. I love how we were like, "Hey, let's do an election thing." We're just all on.
I know. Well,
We're
but
gonna use
I
the
said I
same
wanted to spend a
environment.
few minutes on that.
Yes.
Let's move to the election.
Book ends.
Yeah.
Well, I think I have a segue actually. That
Good.
can take us there, which is
Thank you.
that when it comes to when it comes to storytelling, and I've been trying to tell a few stories in my medium writing, but mostly I've been doing nonfiction. But here and there, I do like to throw in a little bit of fiction, and something I've been thinking about is that, like for example, with Game of Thrones, I guess maybe that's a good example. If you were to stop, right after the Red Wedding or something like that, if you were to just stop the story right there, it would be a completely different story, right? And so I think whether it's a happy story or a sad story or a triumphant story or whatever it is, whatever story you're trying to tell, really what makes it is when you start and when you stop. Where do you begin the story and where do you end the story? And so there's a lot of points over the past couple years that if you just stop the story right there, it would be a sad tale. And I have a feeling that there's going to be, as we go forward, there's going to be in the coming months, probably plenty more places where it could be a sad tale if you stop it there, but it doesn't stop. Time keeps going. And, even if it's a complete disaster, even after when I was reading Lincoln, that was kind of the thought that went through my mind, is that you really can't have a worse catastrophe than a civil war. That's about as bad as it gets. And even after that, the story didn't end. It kept going, and so our story keeps going. So anyway, that brings us to tonight and this chapter of that story. So let's segue into that.
Do you have any updates for us? I don't have a clue what's going on. So anybody that has some numbers to throw in, we would. Here's our CNN analyst, Jesse Rogers, or FPP analyst, right? We're going to. Are you? You're not in Florida, are you?
I am. Yeah, I'm actually
cool.
in Florida. Yeah.
Good.
So Florida's not looking very good for Joe Biden, but it looks like he overall has 131 electoral votes to Donald Trump's 98.
We'll take it.
It doesn't really mean too much yet because which states it's a big question of, the battleground states. Which ones report the first isn't really what matters. It's it's a matter of what is it looking like in the battlegrounds. And so, right now, from what I'm looking at on the map, a lot of them don't look very good. Pennsylvania, Ohio, Florida, Georgia, those are all light red. So that's a bad sign there. Of course, Idaho, a lot of these states still coming up. Those are all going to be, Montana. Those are all going to be red states, even though they're not really reporting in yet. Texas looks like it's slightly red as well. So, Donald Trump is ahead in a lot of the places that he needed to win.
What about Arizona?
Arizona is a light blue right now, but again, there's still a lot to report.
Yeah.
But
No, I know, but hey, I'll take any little tiny ass victory I can get right now. So
yeah,
I've just had it open. I typed in electoral or election coverage on Google, like at the start of this, and just had that open. And I've been just watching to see if there's any states that are blue that weren't blue in 2016. So far, no.
It looks like Trump is really taking Ohio back. For a while, Joe Biden was ahead, but it looks like that's swinging back the other way. And Wisconsin could very well be going towards Trump. Florida almost certainly will, although I don't think they've called that yet. Oh, they have. No, I've heard from our Situation Room that it has been called. So let's see.
it's been called for Trump.
It's been called for Trump.
You have a Situation Room?
Yeah.
I love having a Situation Room. I really do.
Yeah.
I'd like to meet the Situation Room.
If I can get her on camera one of these days. So there's a lot of trouble spots for Joe Biden tonight. There's of course it's a dangerous map for Donald Trump too, because if any of these end up going blue, and there's still plenty of reporting to be done in Pennsylvania and North Carolina North Carolina is very, very close. It's 15 electoral votes could really go either way. 91% reporting, and Donald Trump is less than 1 percentage point ahead right now. So we'll see.
Florida disappoints me year after year.
Yeah.
It's my home state.
I really love Florida. I do love Florida. I don't always agree with its choices, but I do love the state.
I
only left because I'm afraid I'd be underwater in a few years, and or at least my kids.
Not if we switch to nuclear.
There we go.
Yeah.
So we just got to get more people listening to Phil Ord.
Yes, by all means.
Boy, I'm muted.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that. I was gonna say I like citrus fruits and crocodilians, so I can dig it. Swamp area is not like something I'm gonna go squishing around in. It's not like a place I want to go explore.
Yeah, you guys have
But,
like crocodiles and shit out there, right?
Yeah, like literally in my backyard.
Alligators.
Yeah.
Oh, alligators?
Yeah, we've had alligators right in my backyard. It's a real thing.
So awesome. That's so
Yeah.
So then what do you do?
But we had a
You
lake
just
right in the
really
back of our backyard growing up.
You had what?
Yeah, we've
I had a lake
we've
right in
had-
the back of my backyard growing up over
my
in
God.
Florida, and there was alligators. I'd hear little baby alligators every season. They
Yeah.
they make that little chirping noise. They sound like lasers. Pew, 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 pew,
Yeah,
pew.
well, and there's in the area that I'm living in particular, there's like all the bugs are like the size of grapes. It's crazy, they're just gigantic. The mosquitoes are wild out here, but that's sort of like unique to my yard because I'm at the very edge of civilization. There's nothing but nothing but trees and you know, baby alligators are adorable. Yeah, absolutely.
Pew, 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 pew.
Yeah, well, especially when they're in the canals, like when they're you know, far away from you know, being able to get in the house or something like that. They do get in people's houses sometimes in Florida too. That, like, every once in a while you'll see a news report you know, of a snake or a gator or something just making its way.
Not cool.
Yeah.
And giant bugs. No, that sounds like a cool place to live, man. Cool shit to experience. That's kind of why I like Arizona and Fred, because it's the exact same thing. Because like we deal with scorpions and
Rattlesnakes.
snakes and
But we don't get hurricanes, we don't
deer,
get tornadoes, and we almost never get an earthquake. So,
And the views are incredible. I love the desert, the scenery of the desert. It is absolutely gorgeous.
yes.
Yeah, it is. I've been out there too.
Have you
It's
talked to
gorgeous.
Bridget about your little sneaky vacation you're going to take around?
Ah,
Since we have a plane.
not yet. No.
Guys, shh. Oh, okay. So it's shh.
Corey will come from LA. He's a real estate agent guy. Corey will come from LA. And he flies a plane.
That's fantastic.
I'm just saying we literally have a pilot, and buying gas for a plane and just going wherever you want is like really, it's probably a kind of got to be one of the best ways to travel, because it's like that's better than a car. I think it's like only like you know, just like boop, just like boop 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 boop.
It's classy.
Zip around.
That is classy, man. That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he has his own plane, you guys. He's not here. Why isn't he here, Corey? And he didn't come to the Halloween party either. I'm mad. But whatever. But yes, we do literally have a plane. If you guys want to like charter a private plane from somewhere to somewhere for fuel costs, it's way more affordable than you think.
That would be fun.
Come to the
That's
desert.
cool.
It is fucking beautiful. Monsoon season, I think, is probably my favorite.
If you
Because
are
it's like-
coming with a desert, I would suggest grabbing a horse named after the kid in Only Through Fire. You know, just get a horse with, you know, no name. It's good to be out of the rain. I'm sorry, you guys are too young.
Oh, damn it. No, Fred. I did Simon and fucking Garfunkel for fucking
Yes, but that was America.
Patreon drunk karaoke. But I'm gonna do that one next. In the desert.
You can't remember your name because there ain't no one vote. We're about to get shut down now for copyright violation. And I sing so badly, no
Dude,
one's
that would
going to
be
know it.
so easy.
What?
That would be a fantastic drunk karaoke song. Drunk karaoke is now one of the fun Patreon things that we do. We're not obviously.
He does.
celebrity-
I don't do this.
Well, I'm gonna try to get everybody.
I've never
to do
seen
at
drunk
least one.
karaoke.
I don't
What?
sing.
I don't
It's
think they
not-
can watch it. Yeah.
It's
Maybe they will.
it's not a video thing. What you do to participate in drunk karaoke, you find a karaoke track on YouTube, which is like they don't own the rights to that song either. So it's this is art, creativity, karaoke. It's karaoke, and then you download that, and then at your leisure, try to just record all the layers yourselves and be all the be all the voices. I did that,
And he did have the Simon and Garfunkel harmony and shit like that. I mean,
it's
kind of, sort of, you know.
It lands in a few spots. but
No, there are a couple places you actually, it's like, damn, great. Then there's a lot of other places where like,
It's very silly.
okay, but
Well,
you
it's
know,
it's
yeah.
not meant to. It's
No,
not
I know.
It's meant as like drunk karaoke, which is like one of the best things about karaoke. Getting to watch your friends get up there in front of the mic and then just rock an amazing song, by themselves. But this is something you can do in your room with a karaoke track off YouTube, and then we'll just like put it in the. You can be all the harmonies
And if you're
everything.
crazy enough, broadcast it on the internet.
There you go. Yeah.
Give it away as a goodie, as candy. That's amazing. That's amazing goodies.
See, the nice thing about being born in the 60s is I did
Horse
all
with
my
no name.
stupid shit before there was any internet to catch me. So, you know.
Yeah, I was just before Facebook when I graduated from high school and college. It wasn't really a thing in college either. I think it might have been around, but we didn't know about it. So yeah, I lucked out there too, Fred.
See, so young people just, everybody has cell phones and records whatever stupid shit you're doing and posts it everywhere. So,
Well, I just want to say, drunk karaoke's not stupid shit. That's actually really fun and adorable, and something that friends can do together. Did you guys? Okay, Jesse, please tell me you heard the one that I said was specifically for you.
I didn't listen to that yet. No, I know. I have to go back and listen. I made like a mental note of it, but I couldn't listen at that moment.
Oh, are you kidding? Well,
Yeah.
Here we go, kids.
Yeah, play it.
James is here. This one's actually really cute, and it's bad. It's intentionally bad. Sloppy drunk love song to Jesse Rogers. Here we go. we'll cue it up.
It's Bridget listening.
A specific Chrome tab with audio because we want to be able to hear it. Here we go. Oh my god.
It's drunk karaoke.
Drunk karaoke.
Oh.
So many layers is this?
Oh. I messed up tonight. I lost another fight. I still mess up, but I'll just start again. Keep falling down. I keep on hitting the ground. I always get up now to see what's next. Birds don't just fly, they fall down and get up. Nobody learns without getting it wrong. I won't give up, no, I won't give in till I reach the end and I start again.
You get the idea.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Thank you, Jenner. This way you get to see my live reaction though. This actually worked better.
It's really
That was
bad,
so
but
cute.
it's bad on purpose. I didn't want to get us flagged. I didn't get any notifications. I don't think we got flagged. But yeah, it's a really spectacularly drunk version of me trying to do a Shakira song, because what I was actually doing was writing something on piano, changing the key, and making you a song that like a real one.
Oh man,
And
nice.
And this was so challenging, and I'm just like, well, let's just do drunk karaoke. Let me give him a drunk karaoke version.
I love it. Thank you. I've written a couple Medium stories where I mentioned that I just jam out to that song all the time to try to get that growth mindset going, and just trying to program it right. And that's it, man. Thank you.
It was thoughtful and with love.
It was.
It's very silly. You'll have to listen to the whole thing. I think I only do like one more thing, and then I'm just like.
No, I will definitely listen to that when I need to be cheered up. That's fantastic.
It's extremely goofy and quite funny. Yeah, I don't know if you saw in the subtitle it says, "Am I the only one who thinks those tigers are super sexy?" They made the tigers. In that scene of Zootopia, they made the tigers unreasonably sexy. Hashtag unreasonably sexy tigers. Hashtag Shakira. Hashtag believe in yourself. Let's passing the conversation ball. I need another monster.
I haven't seen that in a while.
So there you have. I didn't
I've
get
got
to hear
mine here. Our pizza came, and yeah, so I've got my stock here. Needed some caffeine.
Yeah.
It's going to be a long night.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I'm glad to have my situation room with Jesse here so I can get the reports. But the fact is, CNN and, other people that are a little better at collecting data than the four of us really aren't going to be able to tell us before, tomorrow anyway, I don't think. Maybe they will. I mean, I could be entirely wrong, but I think this is going to take quite some time to get through all of this. And so I'm not getting optimistic and I'm not getting depressed yet. mainstream media is dog shit. Yeah, okay. Except that's so easy to say. So I mean, that's why I don't. It's because
I'm here for entertainment.
No, I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
everyone tells me that, and there is a certain cynicism, right, that says that, well, everybody is corrupt and they're all worthless and they're all, and you know what? Okay, maybe,
Right.
but that does not excuse you from trying to make a difference. And okay, I will be the first to admit Biden was not my first choice. Okay, that's true. But either Biden or Trump is going to be president in the next, I don't know, 24, 36, 48 hours. I don't know what the countdown is. One of those two men is going to be president. It is not going to be Andrew Yang. It is not going to be Joe Jorgensen. And although I understand he already declared victory, it is also not going to, yes, but it is also not going to be Vermin Supreme, so we don't all get a pony. But I did not make this up, but I learned that on #coffee this evening. But anyway, I think that's who it was. I don't know.
Oh,
but
yeah.
We're not going to know that tonight.
Vermin's on the potential guest list.
There you go.
Really?
We are within a few degrees of separation. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Vermin's
anyway,
approved.
we're not
Yeah.
going to know tonight.
Someday.
Yeah, we've already had Jorgensen on.
Yeah, you guys. Yeah, you had.
Have you
Jorgensen,
really?
right?
Right.
No, well, not me. It was Jenner and
It was
that was Phil Lord. Yeah.
He did it for Climate Fix. He interviewed Joe Jorgensen and Spike Cohen.
Mhm.
Spike Cohen is delightful.
He's cool. I like his Facebook.
Very
posts.
nerdy and millennial and funny and cute. That would have been an awesome VP, but
Yeah.
no, they were both there. I recorded and produced that conversation, which is why I was like, you need to put this out on Spaceship Earth too. Put the shit out on Mindwave. That's insane. Yeah, no, he actually was a great episode. I think it was
It's
like 2 hours.
fantastic episode. Yeah.
2 hours, something like that. And
Yeah.
she's pretty cool.
Well-
I don't agree with her on everything.
But there's the thing. You still granted, none of the choices are great. You still have to try to make a difference. That's it. You don't get to decide, well, they all suck. Mainstream media is bullshit. I'm just staying out of it. You don't have that option. And on this show tonight, we're basically going to screw around and, make jokes and things like that. But that doesn't mean that what's happening tonight is not important. You can get your coverage from lots and lots and lots of places. We're under the assumption that if you're here, you've already done your part. And all I ask is that you have voted. One of our friends, Jareen, I know, walked many, many miles distributing literature. My roommate, Rebecca, was on the phone for like 20 hours in the last 2 weeks, calling voters and, trying to change some minds. I did my share of podcasts about that. All I ask from anybody is that and even if you didn't vote the way I wanted you to, you still are required to vote. I think that if you didn't, then shut up. I don't have to listen to you. Okay. If your vote didn't get counted because somebody screwed you over, that's a different thing. But you got to vote. And beyond that, have another bowl and relax. It'll be okay.
The funny thing about like that whole, are we watching South Park? Who's this?
That's the douchebag and turd sandwich. Those are the choices we get every year.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Turd sandwich.
But yeah, like the
sandwich.
The thing about that though is that it's not like it's the media that does that. Like any media, whether it's mainstream or this, or another podcast, all of it can be dog shit. Like it's not necessarily whether or not it's mainstream or not. Like you have to be able to be critical no matter which it is. You can't just decide that all mainstream media is dog shit and that's the way it is. And that doesn't really have anything to do with who's choosing the presidents. Like that's just how the system works. Not a great system, but like it's just how it works.
I think that was snarky and tongue in cheek. Me putting that in the crawler like a news thing. Like, hey guys, the important thing. And if you listened to the Sacred Taco.
That was very
you-
good, by the way.
No,
If
thank
you
you.
haven't heard Sacred Taco, go. It's 20 minutes.
I
It's
did.
great.
I heard it.
Very good.
Yeah.
My thing is let's call it the mainstream media. Okay, they're having good conversations, perhaps informative ones, perhaps biased ones, skewed ones, misled ones. Especially when we're dealing with numbers and data and things. But the fundamental thing why I agreed to, like, yes, we'll produce the fuck out of a election night pre-mortem, which was also, I thought, was clever.
That was funny, pre-mortem, yeah.
Dissecting it, kind of, but I really fundamentally felt like it was about having better conversations that make people feel better, rather than just like sitting in your show, oh my God, what's the numbers going to happen next? It's just like, terror porn, where this feels very familial. It feels like we're in the same room and we're hanging out and we're laughing and talking. The conversation's going all over the place, and it's beautiful, and it makes people feel better. And that's what I mean by better conversations. It makes people feel better. That's why I agree with that. Hashtag coffee, and moving forward, please go over there. They're going to have fantastic conversations. I'll have
heavy hitting political analysis that Jesse might be able to do. Maybe Laura, I'm sure is hell not capable of it.
Phenomenal political analysis. I'm not going to do that.
I want to make a quick point about criticism, and this is something that I've been writing a lot about too, which I think as much fake news or as much bad bad work done by the media as there is, at the same time, one of the ways to think about criticism is that nobody who criticizes you is doing more than you. So all those people in the comments section that are just flaming everything that gets done by anybody, like, they're not producing anything. All they're doing is just I don't even know what that is, and so and admittedly, there are a lot of outlets and there are a lot of pundits that are really kind of feeding that by their anger, their rage bait that they're constantly putting out there. And the reason why is because what's being selected by the algorithms is basically anger, because that's the thing that, if you look at the numbers, that's what goes viral most often. And I don't remember who it was that was making this point, but it was a really good point that if there was a financial interest that a writer had when they're reporting on Google, they would have to either say, hey, I own shares of Google, or, I work for Google as I'm writing this or something like that. It's like I have a financial stake in what I'm writing here. But if you think about it, writers all do have a financial stake because they're paid by the viewership, right? And so what sells is anger. What sells is sensationalism. That's what gets the clicks. That's what gets the views. That's what gets the attention. And that's why a lot of our work, as high quality as it is, a lot of, and not all of it is, but as high quality as the things that I'm writing and you guys are voicing and writing and all this stuff that we're doing, a lot of it is going ignored. Some of it's because we're amateurs, but some of it is because everybody's just so focused on things that make them angry. And this has got to fizzle eventually, because people do get exhausted of it. And I, for one, have pretty much tuned out the media because of that phenomenon. And I'm not necessarily blaming the reporters, and I'm not blaming. Everybody's just sort of stuck in this really lousy status quo that nobody knows how to escape. And I don't think there's anybody. I was just going to say, I don't think there's anybody that's less happy about it than the journalists who are having to sell their journalistic integrity just to make a living. I don't think they want that.
It's a cultural problem, which is why we need to think about it as bottom up rather than top down. It's not their fault, the big bad media guys who are making everything shitty.
Right.
This is a bottom up cultural problem. We need to shift our culture in a positive direction.
I don't see it so much like that. I see it. Sorry, were you still going?
No, I
Henry?
was finished.
Oh, I see it more like the media is like the elitist conversation. Like it's and I think that's important to know. I'm not saying that it's always right or that I always agree with it, but I think that that's like I don't think it's another world than where we live on Facebook. Like where we live on Facebook, there's just as much emotional pandering going on Facebook and on our social media and just on these edgelords that call out everything that happens and constantly calling out the mainstream media. I mean, it's just another conversation to me. I think it's just the elitist conversation, and I think that's important to know. So like I pay attention to that because those are the things. I mean, obviously the president of the United States watches Fox News right now. And, the others, they watch other programs. They don't go on Facebook for their news. At least I don't think so.
You may be right. I do think that is an elitist conversation. I don't necessarily have a problem with elite because I know that the word elitist is often used as an insult. I see it as a compliment. You didn't get to be elite without learning a whole shit ton of stuff. The folks who are having the heavy duty elitist conversations tonight know a whole lot more about politics than I do. I know who I voted for. I know who I want everyone else to vote for. I know the basics and that kind of thing, but I am not an expert in anything. And if you want the elite conversation, by all means, go hear it. I think there are valuable things that are going to be said on CNN, MSNBC, ABC, CBS, whoever. They're all going to have, or run over to #coffee. They, I have no doubt, have brilliant things to say. I think it sometimes is just nice to take a break from that, and which is why I wanted to do this tonight. I will go back to panicking later about, I'm getting a phone call now I'm sure my friend Stephanie is calling to tell me why she's panicking about the election right now. Not doing that right now. Okay. It's going to happen the way it's going to happen. Let's relax. And whatever we do, please, let's not get violent about any of this. That's not necessary. I may very well protest if necessary. I don't know. But not tonight. And let's relax and wait. We've done all we can do now. It's all out of our hands, and there's no reason to panic. And I, salute the elite who are better informed than I am. Good for them. So there's my 2 cents.
You don't want budget brain surgery. It would be a really short way to
really
say,
good
no, expertise is
Right.
absolute. You want the most elite when you're talking about things you want the most elite rocket engine builders if you're trying to go to Mars, motherfucker. This is not like, oh, you get participation award. No, we need like the best of the best of the best in many, 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 many domains. And running the most powerful country on Earth is should be no brainer at top of that list, and landing on the moon and cracking open the atom. Yeah.
Or hopefully in the White House.
That would be lovely. I'm hoping for that.
Fantastic. No, we'll see. We'll see. Oh, we rotate it. It's fine.
We're okay.
I don't remember where everybody was.
Yeah, if things do go badly tonight, and if the numbers do come out, nice job, very cool. Yeah, I would have no idea how to fix that, but yeah, if the numbers do come out badly, then we have to kind of go back and look at the long picture, because like I was trying to get at before, it's where you start the story and where you end the story that makes the story. And so the story does not end with tonight. This is still just one chapter. America 4 years from now is still going to be the strongest nation in the world as long as we keep cool heads and as long as we we've already made it 4 years. And although I agree with those who fear that a slide towards authoritarianism could continue, and there's every reason to believe that could continue no matter who gets elected tonight, because the people who believe in certain principles and certain ideologies are still going to be believing those things tomorrow. And so nothing goes away no matter who it is that wins. And so we have to continue to do the work. It's really just the beginning. It's just another beginning. And we have to put in the cultural work of reaching out and connecting with people. And you guys are all doing that. We're all doing that in our own ways. And
I'm sorry, I have an announcement. Yeah. Oh, I have American announcement. Oh,
hey, we have an actual goddamn political expert. I am so glad.
Why isn't it playing? Oh, because I think it was on the same account. Cats, this is StreamYard's fucking up for me, so I may have to refresh.
So
can you guys hear Corey? I can't hear Corey.
You can't hear me,
Corey?
Yes.
Check 1 2. Check 1 2.
No, I can't see anything.
Still no?
Okay, I guess
we're all good here. Yeah, Jenner, we're all here.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah,
we have a new host. I guess I'm not needed anymore. Bye.
2. So, Fred, can you hear me right now, or am I?
Yes, I can hear you. No, okay. I can hear you, Corey. I can hear you.
Yeah. So I was actually I'm watching Brad and Greg, because apparently you can only run so many things out of our StreamYard account at the same time. Wait. I accidentally backed out of our thing because I had one of those stupid mice that just lets you do that. And so I was trying to get back into my own show, and now I'm like hanging out with you guys, which again doesn't make me angry because I love you guys. So that's fine.
We're ecstatic to have you. Corey, talk to us. What's happening tonight?
Please hold.
Okay. Oh, it's Batman. Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Oh, this is not going to be good.
Oh gosh.
So I ran the numbers for what it would look like if the polling was off by 4.8%, which was the average the polls were off in 2016. I run a lot of numbers. I'm a bit of a nerd. And it looks more or less like this. Now, Florida looks like a shit show. They haven't called it yet, but I'm amazed that they haven't called it yet, and that's fine. I said this morning that I thought that Florida was going to get lost, but I thought we might actually win Georgia and Texas. That's still possible, which is crazy pants, which is fun. Cool. But basically, we're in a situation where we have to win 2 or 3 states, and Shitface has to win like 9. And I would still rather be in our position than the Trump campaign's position, except that, again, the polling averages, are wrong enough that what I didn't want to say, that I definitely wanted to argue against, that there are racist, shit fucking dumb clowns that don't want to admit that they're Trump supporters that exist in this country for polling, because I just didn't think that was real, because I figured, they're going to be loud. That might be true. So we might have a more insurmountable problem than the strict data would have suggested. Now, it's still more likely that we win than we don't, but fuck, do I want to drink more beer? So that's where we're at.
Thank you.
That's always a good point.
Yeah. fucking super positive. Anyway, I should probably let them know that I'm actually going to come back, but I'll
I
keep
was
hanging out with you.
actually
I
just
wanna
gonna.
let Greg go.
I was just gonna actually do something really cute and dip out and go just pop in there and be like, "Hey, Corey,
You should totally do it. Like, we stole this motherfucker.
We stole Corey.
a little swippity swaps. We're just gonna swap for a couple minutes.
We stole Corey.
How fun is that? Yes, I'll just
We
do
need
it. I was
intelligent
gonna go
political
find this show,
analysis.
but
I mean, dude, I'm digging it. Like my buddy Fred's here. Oh my god.
oh,
This
is a fantastic place to be right now.
No, we're glad.
We've
We've
you
had
guys-
a good conversation so far. Fun time.
Right?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a am I wrong? Good. And if you want,
No.
just tell me that I am. 'Cause
No,
I would
look,
love to be wrong.
I get my political information from you and Greg. That's
Shit.
no, it's true.
That's
You find
terrifying.
someone that you trust, and then you listen to them. And as it turns out, neither you nor Greg nor anyone else actually has this crystal ball, so that you can't really tell me what the results of this will be. But I know that you look at data. I know that you trust science, and I have listened to you for many, 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 many hours, and I have learned to trust your judgment. And so I tell my listeners, go check out I even put that on my podcast tonight. If you want intelligent, hard-hitting actual coverage of the election, don't join us. Go over to #coffee, where you will find it. I trust your read of it. I am still choosing to be optimistic. I may be wrong.
No, I think that makes sense right now. I really do. Like, because again, like we decided to air all the numbers as they came in, knowing that the preliminary numbers were, sometimes favorable, sometimes not favorable. And I'm saying like favorable because I'm taking a year off drinking except for today, and it shows. So I've been going to the 270towin.com a bunch to show people that if we lose Florida, it doesn't matter. If we lose Florida and Georgia and North Carolina and Arizona, it doesn't matter. If we lose Florida and North Carolina and Florida and Georgia and fucking Michigan, it still doesn't matter, right? Like there's so many of these things because we're so inured to pain. But at the same time, like in a reasonable universe, this would be a 420 to fucking 4 race. It's not, right?
No.
Like we're facing this fact again, that we live in a country full of psychos who think that a lying piece of shit is a good idea for a president. And there's no way that like, even if we win tonight, great. It's still hard, right?
Yeah.
Jesse was saying that before. They're still
He
going
was
to
just
be
saying
those
that they're still out
Yeah.
there. Yeah, they're
Yeah.
still.
I mean,
Yeah.
taking Trump out of the White House does not change those however many million people that are psychotic Trump supporters. And I don't know how to fix
lady. The QAnon lady in fucking Oklahoma won. She won. And she didn't win by a little bit. She won by a lot.
Jareen's got to be depressed.
A little bit. Except apparently Kojo is doing really good. So we'll look
Good.
Let's give Jareen the day. Right?
Okay, good.
So yeah, it's not all bad news, but like Jamie Harrison lost. Like fucking right? Like
because last I heard he was within like 0.2%
dude,
or something.
he could have won. And this is the thing, like the polls are off. And again, like we account for this, right? Because it's all statistical analysis and none of this is certain or whatever, right? So I mean, I'm totally cool with that. Like, and again, I kind of wish that people took some trading classes, like some economics trading classes, so that you could really understand what a probabilistic result is. Like you literally will lose 10% of the time on these races that are called 90% or whatever, right? Like it's not, it's because until you lose on a trade that has a 10% loss rate, which is amazing, right? Because if you do 10 of those, you're going to win 9 of them. It's fantastic. But until you've done those a number of times, you don't really feel the pain of it. And so this feels like a dramatic event when really it's not from a statistical analysis point of view. But from a holy fuck, we just lost the Supreme Court for the rest of our lives. It's bad.
Yes.
It's not good.
Yeah.
It's not good at all. So
Right.
anyway, that's where I'm at. Yeah, it should be a blowout. We should be a blowout. Like I just wanted Texas. Like fuck
Yeah.
Florida. I just wanted Texas, and we might still win
Yeah.
Texas, but it's a big if. And I'm probably just gonna drink.
I looked at that and I was like, oh my God, if we get Texas, that is
Right,
awesome.
it's over.
I hope.
It's over. Right. If we won Texas, it'd be
Endgame.
over for 30 years. For 30 years.
Yeah.
It's a big deal. But apparently in Texas, people are like, no, I want the liar who raped his wife. Oh.
Well,
Yeah.
I think what it really comes down to is that there's a really big divide between the urban and the rural cultures, and
That's true.
until up until 2016, they still voted red in the rural areas, and they still voted blue in the urban areas, and really very little changed except for on the margins. So you could have run any Republican, you would have got a pretty similar result in most of the counties. You could have run, any Democrat, you would have got a pretty similar result in, so I think, although, the characters in this race had some really extreme differences, I think we're probably overplaying that variable, and there's a lot of other variables that are more important for people's decision-making algorithm. And I think we have to find a way to communicate with our countrymen in a more productive way, and than we've been able to thus far. And it's not all about policy. It's not all about the candidate. It's a lot of it is just cultural, and a lot of it is just.
Can you? Because I actually want to agree. Can you give me an example about how it's cultural? Just like break it down to like one tiny little element.
I can.
Please
go.
Take it away.
Okay. Like out in the Midwest, I lived out in Indiana for a while, and quite a few people out there were upset over the loss of the coal industry and blamed Obama for it. And I feel a lot of the times that their entire perspective comes like they are against higher education, against, improving themselves, in those ways. It feels like because, they're reminded of that, and they're just angry over that, it feels like, and there is no moving past that. And so while I kind of agree with Jesse as far as like the cultural aspect of that and how like it changes from area to area, like how people think and what their worldview is, a lot of like also the Midwest is like you are in this area where it's very small and you have to depend on your family because of the cold winters and things like that. And that's where like that whole culture evolved from. But so I think that also influences their decisions, and plus the industry and the loss of the coal industry and things like that. So while I agree with that, it's like a cultural thing. I just kind of am like, how do you get around that?
Right.
Like,
And
when
honestly,
people are so adamant to be, against everything.
No, that's a really good summation, because we have Brad on the other channel. I'm actually watching Jenner like fuck that shit up on the other channel. It was awesome. So we got Brad on, and he was literally a consultant for the Bill Clinton campaign back in the before times, and so he's like a kind of erudite political thinker, and apparently Jenner left. So anyway. I have to say, and again, I'm like 3 beer deep into I don't drink anymore, except for today. Talking about the death of the coal industry, which was kind of going to die anyway, right? But the way that we don't want those things to change, and to Jesse's point, and Laura, I think you nailed it. Like that thing that people really want to stay the same. and they're not thinking about climate change. They're not thinking about, Black Lives Matter. They're not thinking about social justice. They're not thinking about like whether or not we should do this or that thing or whatever. And it was really interesting to me, Laura, that you said that, we're in this cold place. We have to take care of our family. Because I'm from the fucking Arctic, where you don't take care of your family. You take care of everyone. Right? Because it's actually cold up there. Whereas like, Midwest, it gets a little, but it's an interesting distinction, right? Because like if it gets a little bit cold, you take care of the people that you could see. And that's republicanism, right? You take care of the people that you could see in front of you. You get way, way up there to the point where like if you stop, and I tell this story all the time, but I'll tell it again. If I broke down on the side of the road anywhere, ever, the first car that would come by would stop. And I thought that was normal. Right? And you come down here and like you would never stop because like they might be thieves or like aliens or like weird people or like, oh my God, they might be black. Oh my God, whatever. Like, but it was weird, right? I'm from Canada, I'm like this weird noob. And so I think you nailed it. Like culturally speaking, that's the thing. Anyway, I should probably go pop back into the show that I started because they're like,
I'm well over my hour,
that's where I just was. You guys,
I know, dinner. I was actually watching you.
And now they're gushing about Uncle Fred. Yeah.
Well, I'm well over my hour and I have to go smoke something. So anyway, thank you guys for this. Corey, I'm glad to see you. That was great. And so I'm out. So thank you guys. Thank you.
Cheers, Fred.
Yeah.
I missed my chance.
What's really good is apparently we can run like 18 million shows out of our StreamYard account, which I do.
Apparently. Are you out of here too,
That's
Laura?
amazing. Yeah, I should probably get going too. But it was nice meeting you, Corey. I don't think I've ever spoken with you before.
We should again. You're welcome on #coffee anytime, Jesse. You too. Because again,
Corey. Yeah, love to.
We're clearly barreling into more fucking dog shit. So,
hey, it's a great show. I just invited myself on it a couple minutes ago.
Fantastic. Yeah, no,
I put a crawler at the bottom that was like breaking news update. Like, oh no, something huge just happened, and then Jenner just pops up like, hey, Corey did something funky with his mouse, and then was trying to get back to this show and came into our show. So that's where he is. I just wanted to let you guys know.
I think it was nice. It was nice to drop in. Because
I'm glad you did. Yeah,
This,
it was nice to meet you, Corey.
Yeah.
Swippity swap. Very cool.
All right, I'm going to.
Good night, Laura.
All right. Well,
Good
that's a perfect
night.
place to end it. Good night, everybody, and good luck.
Good
America.
night. Yes.
I know where to end this.
It is for us, the living, rather to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us here to be dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion, that we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth. Abraham Lincoln, November 19th, 1863.